Hello, everybody. My name is Andrew Montoya, and I'd like to welcome you to my final presentation for the Pre-Management Development Program and the City of Albuquerque. This is the Writing and Collecting of Aquarium Standard Operational Procedures. And again, my name is Andrew Montoya, so let's get into it. So, if you've watched any of my other tollgate presentations that I've been doing all year, one thing I do like to do is I like to start my presentations with a recap of basically what I've been working on. The presentation you're going to be hearing today is a recap of the project plan report that I've been working on for writing and collecting aquarium standard operational procedures. This is a project that I chose way back when, probably in about February of this year, and I've been working on it ever since, step by step on how the process is going to work to collect aquarium SOPs. Now, this next slide we're going to be going over is the executive summary. It's a summary on my executive summary from my project plan report. And before I touch on this, I just want to mention a couple things. The language that I'll be speaking, words like system. When I say system, what I'm basically saying is fish tank. You know, all the aquariums around the aquarium and in the industry refer to their fish tanks as systems. So my focus has been on writing and collecting SOPs for the small systems around the aquarium. I'm also working on gathering other standard operational procedures, but we'll go over that in a while. But the ABQ Biopark Aquarium has no one singular source of a standard operational procedure on being an aquarist. Not having such a manual or guidelines creates ongoing issues inside of the aquarium, like you have one thing like a backwash on a system, and everybody is doing it in a different way. So my goal is to find the best way of doing that one thing or that one task, and that is where the standard operational procedure will come in. The one single way we should all be doing things the best way, and it just helps everybody be on the same page, and it helps run the aquarium at an optimum level. So the next slide I'd like to go over is the project objectives and solutions. Um, why did I choose this project? That's going to be the opportunity. I see opportunity to fix a lot of ongoing issues inside of the aquarium. When I see new aquarists come into the aquarium, and a new aquarist could be someone who has previous aquarium experience at another facility, well, that's great. But usually when the aquarists hear that this person is experienced, that person is brought in, they're given like the 101s of how the aquarium runs, and then they're off on their own. And that can give a new aquarist a lot of anxiety on not knowing exactly how things should be done. So if standard operational procedure manual did exist, well, it's going to relieve a lot of those anxieties. The other type of aquarist that comes in is a very green aquarist, someone who has no experience inside of this field at all. So that person is then assigned to um, an experienced aquarist in order for mentoring and teaching and training. So that experienced aquarist is going to take that green person and walk them through the process from the ground up. Everything from water quality, water changes, bag changes, backwashes, I mean, you name it, animal behavior, everything. So this manual can be written in-house. And right now I'm going over the solution description. This manual can be written in-house by us, the experienced aquarists who know how to run these systems. I'm hoping that management will review and approve the process to ensure correct actions are being performed. Benefits of this include a safer work environment, better and more efficient work being performed, and in the event if someone is absent, which we have experienced with just regular sickness, or now with COVID-19 going around, if everybody inside of the aquarium has to be sent home, well, an experienced aquarist or even a very green person can come in and follow these standard operational procedures and keep the aquarium running until we come back and we're able to perform our duties again. And another great benefit of this solution is that it requires no additional spending. Only regular work hours need to be paid out. This project is all about fitting it into our regular schedule and not spending any extra money. So that's a big positive. Next, I'd like to go over the project details. The next few slides are going to be all the details about this project. Again, it's a very simple process, but I just want to walk everybody through it so everybody's on the same page. So I'm going to go over the scope of this project. So if management deems that a system is needing a standard operational procedure, then us Aquarists, experienced Aquarists, are going to write that SOP in-house. Management is going to decide who is going to write that SOP based on current tank assignments, also experience. This can also be tag teamed, and two or even three Aquarists can jump on a standard operational procedure together in order to talk and debate the best way on how to do something before we put it down on paper. Because once we put it down on paper, it is going to be the standard of how we do it. It could be changed later on if a better process is found, but once it's there, this is the way that we should be doing things. That SOP will be then handed over to management for review and approval. Management, after approval, will then place this standard operational procedure in a digital file so it could be shared with us and all members of the biopark. This next slide covers the success criteria, or basically how this process of writing a standard operational procedure is going to work. Again, it's something I've already touched on, but let's go over it. So if a system is deemed that it needs a standard operational procedure or an SOP, management is then going to assign that SOP assignment to an Aquarist, and that Aquarist could be the one that's currently taking care of the system. It could also be an Aquarist that has the most experience with that system or that area. For example, an area would be something like quarantine. If there's an Aquarist in there that only has, they're currently assigned in there, but they've only been in there 2 months, while there's other Aquarists that have been inside of quarantine for years possibly, and this is just an example, for possible years. So maybe it's better if the other Aquarist that has more experience writes that SOP. This can also be assigned to multiple Aquarists to work on together, but a deadline will be given to those Aquarists to hand in the first draft. After that, management will go over that draft, make or suggest any changes to the SOP, and then once that process is done, it will be given back to management for the approval process. So once an SOP is approved by management, that SOP will be placed in a digital file for all to be shared. Now, if there's any edits that need to be changed to this standard operational procedure, if an Aquarist finds a flaw or something's not working, or we've changed plumbing or animals or anything, it needs to be changed, well, they need to go to management, basically state their case on why this standard operational procedure no longer works, or this step in the standard operational procedure doesn't work. Then management is going to be the ones who deem it okay for it to be edited and changed, but it's going to go through the same process. Management is going to say, yes, this needs to be changed. They're going to assign this SOP to an Aquarist for the edits. It's going to go back to management for any review or suggested changes to the SOP. Afterwards, management can approve the SOP and place it back in a digital file for all to be changed, or for all to be shared. So again, it's a very simple process, very straightforward, and very streamlined. I'd like to touch really quick on constraints that were found with this project. The three biggest: time, equipment, and staffing. Now, everyone is human. You could hand out a deadline, but maybe someone is going to miss that deadline. So that could be a constraint. Equipment. Currently inside of the aquarium, we only have one communal computer inside of our laboratory upstairs. So early on, when we started writing SOPs, we found that if an Aquarist was writing an SOP, another Aquarist would come up. Well, the computer is taken, and they don't have time to just stand around and wait. So we ran into a little speed bump with that. And another thing that we did find was staffing. Currently inside of the aquarium, we are in and have been in a short staffing situation. So, in all honesty, this project has been paused for a short time until we could fill some vacant spots. Another thing with staffing is management turnover. So, right now, we're kind of in a big change time. So, what we're trying to do is we're trying to hold off on this project, and then once we fill these vacant positions, everyone's comfortable in these positions, we're going to start pushing again to have these SOPs written. I am proud to say that we have written probably about 40 to 50% of all the small systems inside of the aquarium, and it's something again that I do want to pick up on again and start working on. As far as any organizational impact this is going to have inside of the aquarium, this is going to be huge. Um, it's amazing to me that we don't have something like this already. We have, again, handwritten notes, some small guidelines on how to be an aquarist, but having this operational procedure manual is going to be huge. And hopefully one day it doesn't happen. But let's say someone were to be injured on the job doing a task. Well, management is always going to ask, were they following the standard operational procedure? And if these aquarists are following the standard operational procedure, it's going to ensure that we all stay safe while doing our job and providing the best care for our animals and running our systems as optimal as possible. So I added this quick little quote from Albert Einstein: "Assumptions are made, and most assumptions are wrong." Well, I'm hoping not to be too wrong on this. This is just a quick assumption of what kind of timeline we're looking at. Now, again, this is a very large project. We have many standard operational procedures inside of the aquarium that need to be written, not only on small systems, but collecting dive standard operational procedures, which is something I've been working with Alex Schrader with. He's already handed over a few standard operational procedures that he has. But once we collect all of our stuff being small systems, and even some of the stuff on our larger systems, I'd like to move on to things like life support and laboratory standard operational procedures. Now, just for writing small systems inside of the aquarium, I'm assuming that our first draft deadline should take anywhere to 2 to 4 weeks, depending on the size of system and exactly what's going on and what's going to be written inside of these standard operational procedures. It's going to cover everything on how to change a bag, from when we should be checking water quality, doing water changes, hydrovacs, cleaning protein skimmers, troubleshooting. It should cover literally everything, everything. And that, again, should take anywhere from 2 to 4 weeks. Management review, I'm hoping 1 to 2 weeks just to read, suggest any edits, and again, aquarist edits if it comes back. 1 to 2 weeks, and final review and approval 1 week. It shouldn't take that long to finally approve these and place them in a permanent file. So this is just a quick overview of what I'm assuming the timeline is going to be. And again, touching base on the budget, this project requires no additional cost to the city of Albuquerque or the taxpayers of Albuquerque. Only regular hourly wages will need to be spent on this. We're going to write this in-house while we are at work. We just need to fit it into our own schedule, which is something we've proven that we can do and all of us are willing to do. Now, again, I've been working inside the aquarium since 2008, and it's unbelievable to me that I have seen everybody come and go. So, with this project team slide, I really wanted to eliminate any names or anything like that. Instead, I wanted to give their job titles and what their responsibilities are going to be. So, essentially, an SOP author can be written by any employee of the aquarium, all the way down from a B23 aquarium technician all the way up to a curator. Anybody can write a standard operational procedure. Now, when it comes to the management review, that will go to the head aquarist, the assistant curator, or the curator of the aquarium. But the approval can only come from the assistant curator or the curator. Now, I originally only wanted the curator to be approving these, but if a curator comes in and deems that the assistant curator can be approving these SOPs, I don't see any problem with that at all. So again, this is just how the team is going to function and their roles inside of the team. Yes, this slide is kind of redundant, but I had to add it anyway. It's the project schedule. Now, there is no exact deadline of when this project is going to start or begin because I have no idea when we're going to be fully staffed again. But when we are fully staffed, again, anywhere from 2 to 4 weeks for first draft, 1 to 2 weeks management review, 1 to 2 weeks Aquarius edits, and 1 week for final review and approval. Now it's funny, this is like the maximum amount of time that it's going to take. Currently this week, I just wrote a standard operational procedure on how to order food from our diet room, and that took me less than 30 minutes to write. Typed it up really quick, sent it over to Teresa, our assistant curator, for anything she wanted changed, essentially the edit phase. Anything she wanted changed, she sent it back and said it looks good to her, and now it's in a permanent file. So again, this is the max amount of time. Other SOPs can be written in as little time as a day, which that one was. Project risks and controls. Now we're talking about risks. Again, we're going through a short staffing situation, and it has put a halt on this project, but we will get back on it. I promise you that. Lack of equipment. We've seen that with one single computer, but we're hoping to have another computer online very soon. And just human nature of people missing deadlines. So deadlines. If an Aquarius will keep management informed on the progress of the SOP being written. Communication, communication, communication. We need to be talking to management, and management needs to be talking with us to see how this process is going, how we are doing. Again, just communication is key here. And short staffing, it's hard to control that, but again, once we get short staffed, we'll be jumping on this project as soon as possible. Now, what's the solution for all this? Well, we just need to do it. We need to work on this project and start writing and collecting standard operational procedures for the entire aquarium. Way back March, April, we did start the process of this project. We did start writing standard operational procedures for the aquarium. We wanted to have a good chunk of them ready to go before AZA, which we did. We probably have, again, anywhere between 40 and 50% of the aquarium already written, approved, and filed away. The other 50% we need to work on once we become fully staffed. Once I find that we're at a place where we can start writing these again, I will be going to management to restart this process and get this project going. It's something I'm very proud of, and I'm hoping to have more in the future. Well, that's going to conclude my presentation. This has been a presentation from the Pre-Management Development Program, the ABQ Biopark, and the City of Albuquerque. But before I conclude this, I just need to thank a few people. I need to thank people like Brandon Gibson for suggesting this program to me. It's been a wonderful experience. Tom Darling, Stephanie Stoll, Kathy Lang, Teresa Neatfeld, Alex Schrader, Steve Senac, and all of the aquarium staff inside of the aquarium for pulling my weight on Thursdays while I was doing this program. Again, thank you so much. This has been a wonderful experience, and again, thank you all.